Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Hannah Fritz and I work as a fertility coach. I support women who want to conceive naturally or preparing for IVF or IUI or other fertility treatments. And I work together with women in a holistic and personalized way, focusing on efficient lifestyle changes that will maximize your chances to conceive. Today, I want to talk to you about a topic which I feel strongly for. I actually posted on my Instagram platform, which is my main social media platform, a few weeks back. And I want to talk about this topic more in depth because what I experience, what I hear from many women who is on the TTC journey, this is a lot the advice you keep hearing of what you should be doing, what you should be focusing on when you try to conceive. But this advice is many times actually, it's non-specific and it doesn't really help you to, partly that it is non-specific, you don't really understand, okay, do this, okay, but how? And also I see that the advice in itself, like the action in itself, will not bring you closer to a pregnancy. So let's go through these 5 different areas, which I have identified as the most common kinds of advices you hear when you're TTC that are actually non-specific. And I want to, in this video, make them specific so that you can actually bring new tools into your TTC journey. And think like, how can I tweak and shift my daily habits into making them more fertility friendly and fertility maximizing, because this is what we obviously want to achieve when we are TTCing to reach that pregnancy faster. So to jump in it, without further ado, the first point is to eat healthy. And this is something that I hear a lot. Also when I ask women like, so what are you focusing on so far in your TTC journey to boost your body to be able to conceive naturally, or to boost your fertility? And many say this is also what you hear, right, as a woman, and the information you get also from your doctor, to eat healthy, maintain a healthy weight, eat a lot of vegetables, eat a varied diet. But the problem with this is that like just eating healthy will not really boost your fertility, because it's quite non-specific. Because also in a way, like, what is healthy? What does that actually mean? And just because you eat a lot of organic food doesn't mean that you eat for your fertility, or just because you eat just a lot of veggies doesn't really mean that you eat for your fertility. So how to turn that advice into something specific is that we need to focus on stabilizing blood sugar levels to make your body have an even flow of energy. Because what happens when we don't eat for our blood sugar is that we most often have spikes and then a crash. And what happens then with our energy level and hormone levels is that they get disrupted. The energy levels goes like this during the day, because usually when your blood sugar is high, you want to eat something sugary, a lot of carbohydrates, to get that energy quick up again. And then we keep doing like this pattern throughout the day. And this really causes a havoc with our hormones, because when the body is so focused on trying to regulate your blood sugar, it will not focus on optimizing your hormones and making them work in our favor and to their best ability. So what we really want to know, what I usually work with a lot when it comes to the women that I'm working with as my clients to maximize their fertility, is to focus on blood sugar levels. And this you can do in many different ways. It comes down partly to the very food we eat, so how we structure our meals. And there we need to focus on boosting yourself with protein, fat and fiber to really make sure that the energy you eat is like holding on for a longer time, and it's really giving you that even flow and not this roller coaster kind of energy flow throughout the day. So that we really need to make sure. It's also about how you eat, so the habits you have, how many hours does it go between your meals? What does your breakfast look like? This is something that I go in detail when I work together with women, because it also comes down to how does your lifestyle looks like otherwise. It's really not one size fits all, like eat exactly like this, do exactly like that, because you really need to dive deep into your lifestyle to see what will actually fit your schedule, your life, which kind of food you enjoy. And this is what I personalize inside my coaching programs. So yeah, that would be a more specific advice when it comes to how should I eat, how should I think with my nutrition when it comes to maximizing my chances and boosting my fertility, maximizing chances for to conceive naturally, or really preparing for that IUI or IVF process to really make sure that your body is safe enough to conceive and stable enough to conceive. The second advice that I hear often is to exercise. And there I just realized that I already said one thing when it came to maintaining a healthy weight. That's why I had to think now exactly. So that goes into both areas actually, to like maintain a healthy weight, exercise regularly, like 3-4 times a week, sometimes I hear, and go for jogging, go to the gym, and just make sure that it's regular and that your weight is on a good level. And why this is not good advice is because it's, again, very non-specific. So what kind of exercise, first of all, and like there is also very personal, like very, what kind of exercise does actually fit you and your life and what will benefit you. That can be super different. And it's also about, the main key here is to exercise according to your hormones and your phases in your cycle, to make the advice, again, specific. It will not help you to just exercise 2-3 times per week, because when you are approaching your period, or you're actually bleeding, you're on your period, or just the days after, the body is very busy with that. So really, those days, what I usually advise my clients is to really rest, take it easy, maybe do some stretching, go for a slow walk, really turn yourself more inwards, look after yourself. Because if we go do a tough strength training is great for fertility, but if we go to do a super intense hour in the gym, or if we go to a HIIT exercise, or we go out for a run during those days, especially when we bleed, then we are risking to stress our body unnecessarily, which means, again, that our hormones will not be prioritized, because the body is busy thinking maybe that, okay, you're bleeding, but you're still running from something, or you're still using your body. So we cannot prioritize to get pregnant right now. We need to prioritize that you survive and that everything is working okay for you to really have the kind of hygiene factors of the body maintained, but the fertility will be in the back seat. So I'm not saying that you need to stop all of the intense workouts, but focusing them more when you have higher energy, meaning around ovulation time, around that week. And there it comes to like different fluctuations. Everyone are different. So it's really about, again, personalizing it for you, that it works for you. But that, I say, like, is more specific advice when it comes to TTC and exercise. And I've also done a separate video when it comes to maintaining this healthy weight kind of advice that I think is also very non-helpful for women, because it's not just about the weight, it's about so much more when you try to conceive. I've actually done a separate video about that when it comes to weight loss and TTC, which you can also check out. I can link that in the description box for you, because when many women are on a weight loss journey as well as a TTC journey, and this is also something to really consider when thinking about nutrition and exercise if you're trying to conceive. And I'm looking at my notes here to the side, just so that I will not miss anything. The third advice that I hear is to take a prenatal. And why this advice is not helpful is that it's not just about any prenatal. It's really about moving towards a high quality supplement which focuses on maximal absorption, because some supplements are not optimized when it comes to the absorption, meaning how much vitamins, nutrients, minerals the body actually takes up from the pill that you take. And I'm a strong believer in not working with like 10, 15 different supplements, which I sometimes see with women who try to conceive, that there are so many supplements. This is not what I believe in. I believe in less is more, but I do believe in that you need to take more than just a prenatal, because the levels in a prenatal is not always optimal for what you actually need to get into your body when you really want to maximize your chances. And there I work with approximately 4 supplements that are the most important ones, the most effective ones when it comes to boosting your fertility. And this is usually what I advise when I work with my clients. And then we also look over a supplement schedule to really maximize absorption and like create the circumstances for your body to actually take up the nutrients from the supplements. And it's also about when do you take your supplements. During ovulation week, then we usually look at boosting with especially one supplement that is highly supporting the ovulation process. So there is more to just taking a prenatal. And as well, for example, just taking folic acid. Folic acid might be something, it is something that will support you in the pregnancy, but does it really support you to get pregnant? Maybe not so much. So there is like also the focus needs to be more deeper and more focusing on what does a body really need who's trying to conceive. So the 4th one is track your cycle. And this advice I find not helpful, because there is way more to fertility and understanding your cycle than just tracking it. So many becomes almost, I would say, obsessed. I know the feeling, since I also tried it. I tried to track the BBT, so the temperature every morning. I've also tried ovulation test kits. And nowadays, like I was obviously TTCing a little bit some years ago, and now there are even more gadgets and tools to track your like fertile window especially, and your cycle. And I think that sometimes it can kind of shift the focus for women to focus on what is the actual signals from my body, and not only going up and waking up in the morning and the first thing you do is to measure your temperature, or if you have an Oura ring or another kind of tool to measure it, that you check that directly, and directly we prime ourselves with TTC in the morning, with the temperature, and we also obviously analyze it. Even if we want it or not, we go into a mode of analyzing, and then we prime ourselves to think about that throughout the day. It's basically the advice you hear, like, don't pick up your phone and look at like Instagram and scroll Instagram the first thing you do, because then you obviously you kind of prime yourself to want that more throughout the day. And I believe the same thing is with TTC. If you like tracking, if you like it, and if you enjoy it, if you feel that it's helping you, go for it, no problem. But I do believe in some cases that kind of just tracking your cycle or using these different apps you can use, I think that's a great tool just to be aware of how your cycle looks like. But we need to get better at advising women and talk about recognizing the natural signs of fertility, of the fertile window, especially in your cycle. So when it comes to ovulation, already a week before, we can start noticing signs in your body that, your body is preparing for the ovulation process. And this is something that I also work a lot with the women I have inside my program. So what are the actual signs to look out for, more than just cervical mucus, or actually more than just a positive ovulation test? So this is what I really believe in when it comes to tracking and testing, that yes, it can be helpful, but we cannot forget the natural signs from your body, the signals from your body, and this should be the foundation to stand on. And then the tracking can help us, it can help us to confirm an ovulation. But for some women, for example, the BBT patterns can be tricky, because we're maybe measuring on different times, something else comes in between, tiredness, sickness, and ovulation tests are also always not accurate for all women. So this is just some things we need to have in mind. The last one, and this is something that I'm passionate about when I talk to women, and I think you've heard this many times, like, just relax and it will happen, or just go on holiday and it will happen, just enjoy yourself, just keep trying, it will happen for you. Well, I think I come from the view that it will not happen just from keeping to try without changing anything. It will not happen from you saying to yourself or someone else saying to yourself, just relax. Because how should you relax when all you want is a healthy pregnancy and a baby in your arms, and you feel so frustrated and stressed that it's not working, and your period keeps coming cycle after cycle, and you do all of these things like eat healthy, exercise regularly, take your prenatal, and it's still not working. So how can you then relax? Well, I believe in there, to make it specific once again, is to have a plan, to have a structure for your fertility journey. And this is something I write about a lot on my platform on Instagram. And this is also what I help women with inside my coaching programs, is to provide a structure, a framework, guidance to women who tries to conceive. So it is extremely confusing out there, because you go on social media, you go on ChatGPT, you go on Google, or you ask friends maybe around you if you're open with your TTC journey, and you hear different conflicting advice everywhere. And then it's also not so easy to have a direction in your fertility journey. And many women I talk to, they don't know their next step. They don't know what to do next. And this is something that what I see, how we can make it more clear for women, like to have a plan, to sit down and actually reflect on, okay, what have I been trying so far? And what is actually going to make a difference for me? And what should I be focusing on ahead? And really have what I do with my clients, to have a monthly, weekly, basically daily focus. What kind of habits are you going to work with every day when it comes to your lifestyle, nutrition, supplements, sleep, exercising, and much more? Like, what areas will you focus on to tweak your fertility into maximizing your chances to conceive naturally? This is really the fifth kind of advice that I hear a lot. So yeah, taking it from just relaxing, it will happen, and keep trying, to having a structure, having a plan. So yeah, I've been talking a lot. This is my longest video so far, but I have such a passion for this topic, and to helping women to really make the TTC journey more understandable, structured, create more clarity, because many feel that clarity is in so many cases missing, and it's frustrating, right? It's frustrating to keep trying and doing your very best, and don't know who to listen to, because there's, like I said, so much advice out there. And bridging over to, if you feel that you have been watching this and you feel that the kind of support that I offer inside my coaching programs is something that you have been looking for, don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram. That's the best place to contact me, in the DMs. And we can chat about what would be your next step. We could get to know each other a bit more I offer a 30-minute free consultation call. And there I can get to know you a bit more, where you stand right now and where you want to be on your TTC journey. So thank you so much for watching, for getting all the way through the video and coming to the end. And I'm wishing you such a lovely day, and talk to you soon again. Bye bye.